Venez montrer qui j'en nous aider. Quelques Haïtiens arrivent à apprendre et parler anglais en façon qui naturelle. Si ou même ou remet méthode là et ou ta remet apprendre comme ça tout, quittez un commentaire pour faire nous connaître.
And I think about this question, I will be a bit short. Um, I gonna they say what is the problem with successful thing that you have achieved recently? I gonna do both. I gonna try to say and because I know nobody else are raising hand. I think the proud moment I have achieved recently it's when I was living in the US and my work and my both jobs, and they praised me for what I have achieved with them in a short period of time. And they even asked me if there is another way to not be leaving them. I think this is one of the proud moments of my life. Even one of my job, my two bosses, they come along with their family and we go to a restaurant just to show me their appreciation for all the things I have done for them and for the company or contribute. There is nothing else to be proud of. To know where you were, you matters, and your increased ability worthwhile because the way you do things, and the customers also they cry, why should be leaving? They didn't understand, but it was a proud moment. That means you make a difference in life of others. This is a proud moment because sometimes it's when you die, people share you this appreciation. You don't even know that. But to be alive and to receive this beautiful moment, I can say this is a golden birthday moment. It was really, until now, I still thinking about that. I have a lot of gift card from my coworker, from sisters and brothers in congregation, who have different people who sign in. All of these, this is proud moment achievement recently. And the successful things is to be reunited with my family. This was the successful thing I have been achieve recently in my life. Thank you, Teacher Michael.
Thank you very much for sharing. We really appreciate and we really thank you, our beautiful lady. Now it's going to be you, Miss Neftali. I know you are kind of sleepy or sleeping, but you're here 100% now. Open the mic and say things, please.
No, not at all. I'm not sleeping. Thank you so very much, all of you guys, for your beautiful comments. I was there listening carefully to all of them. And honestly, I've learned a lot from you tonight. Um, that's going to be the most recent achievement in my life that I'm going to talk about because I remember when I was a kid, when I was 18, I was very competitive. But when I start learning from God, I'm Christian now. I'm not going to mention my religion, but I've learned about to not being like so competitive. And for now, I'm still a competitive girl, but the only one, the only competitor that I have for now, it is myself. And I remember when I started learning English, it was April of this year. And 2 months later, I applied for a company that I'm not going to mention the name for confidentiality purposes. And unfortunately, they didn't want to move forward with my application. That was hard for me, but that was okay because that was fair. And 5 months later, I applied for the same company. The thing is, I did pass the interview and everything was okay. I started the training with them, and that training has two parts. The first one is about a preparation for a test called AMCAT test. All my life, I was a very good student, but for that test, I find myself in a situation that I can say I was the dumbest girl in the world. I was ashamed to myself, everything. And I was at school in Haiti in a French speaking system. And also I have learned a little bit of things right here in a Spanish speaking system, but I have never heard about describe animation. And in that training, that's going to be the very first time that I was about to learn and also prepare for a test that's going to be mostly about describe immersion. For example, they can give you a sentence that's going to be this and you're going to talk about it. You have 30 seconds to think about it and 45 seconds to say things about it. You're going to provide the most information that you can, and you should like show off your fluency in English, everything. Yes, I know a little bit of English. I'm not a native speaker. I don't have a lot of time learning English, and I still have a lot of things to learn. And in that test, well, things was just hard because you know I didn't know how to make it out. So how to make it work out. And but the first trainer that I got in that training was very patient with me. I don't know if it is because she knew that I have some potentiality. She was very patient with me and she helped me a lot with how to describe immersion. The AMCA test was not entirely about describe immersion, but that was the only thing that was so hard for me. And okay, I started working hard at the point that I got sick, unfortunately. But after that, everything was okay because I'm kind of person when I'm decided to do something, my health, everything, uh, but that thing doesn't really matter. I'm going to put my entire self in that things just to make it happen. So the same things happened. First of all, God was with me, helped me a lot. I learned a lot of new things. I worked very hard. And the last Saturday, they sent an email to me saying that I have passed the test. And that test, it was not with that company, but I already passed that test, that AMCA test, and I have failed. When they sent an email to me saying that Neftali, congratulations, you have passed the AMCAT test, I was like, what? I didn't know how to react if I can cry or just be happy. I just called one of my friends, sharing that news with my friend, and it was something. Oh, I was very proud of myself for the very first time in so long because sometimes I think I need more sympathy to myself because I'm too hard to myself. Even though I'm working very hard, I always say, you can do more, you can do more, you're too lazy, Natalie. I'm the one who is pushing myself every single time, even though I'm doing a lot, but I still wait for more from myself. And when I received that email saying that I've passed the test, I was very proud of myself because it was a company that I wanted to work with. It was going to be as an Asian current interpreter, and I've passed the most difficult, I can say this, and I'm just happy. So thank you so very much, Mr. Michael, for giving me the mic. You guys, you are going to be the second person that know about that news because the first person that I thought about that news entirely with so much feelings. It was my friend, and right now it's you guys. So thank you so very much, Mr. Michael, for giving me the opportunity to share about it.
Great. Awesome. So thank you very much, our beautiful lady, Miss Neftali, for sharing with us this proud and also successful moment as well.
Konesans se sel bagay yo pa jan ka apren nan men yo, mem si yo ta depote yo. Apren angle tade, wa sonje mte pale yo. My name is Steffi from Comwad Language Courses. Nan Comwad Language Courses, nou itilize pi bon metode ki se metode konversasyon. Nou pa fokis sou wek gramatikal. Sa ki pi important pou nou se ekout, komprehensyon e pi pale. Sa ap ton pou komanse. Nouvel sesyon se mwa sa. Ou ka ankouraje fami ou ak zanmi ou pou yo apren pale angle tou. Pour plus d'informations, contactez nos numéros ça.
Life in America is beautiful, but it's more beautiful when you speak English well. I'm Yolanda from Commonwealth Language Courses. Commonwealth Language Courses, c'est une école online qui apprend nous parler anglais. Il fait live sur Zoom, ça qui veut dire qu'on apprend à parler langue anglais à n'importe côté dans le monde là. So, soit besoin, c'est un appareil qui a Internet. Par exemple, un téléphone, une tablette ou bien un laptop qui soit apte pour commencer. Nouveau session, c'est moi ça. Ou capable d'écrire un numéro ça, qu'on soit besoin de toute information que vous avez besoin. N'attend nous tout.
Miss Jenny Felix, let's go with you, please.
Yeah, so my proud moment is in my experience is being a civil engineer because every time when I go to work, and I don't know if because I'm a lady girl, so as a lady girl, they think that is too much for me, and I feel proud because I'm like that. So I am a kind of person. Um, I like challenge, so I like challenge. That's why I am proud. I'm proud to be a challenge for people because I always experience that every time when I'm at work or when I have to do something and people think that as a lady girl, so I mean that it's like a discrimination for me because even I mean nowadays everybody can see that everything girl can do, I mean men or women, so there is no difference. So because at this time as men or as a lady girl we work hard to do everything. So and I would like to make a difference for my generation, or I would like to face a different thing with Haitian people because I'd like them to move on, like see things as they are today. Because in other country, I think that is not like that. So girl, boy, men, women, just together, we are the world. That's
Mhm.
all.
Great. Awesome. I really appreciate, and you're kind of brave as well. The way that you would like to make that difference, I really appreciate, and I really congratulate you because you're kind of like such pioneer. And I know the other ladies, they are kind of following you as well. Thank you for sharing with us. Congratulations. Let's go, please, Mr. Emmanuel Boade. You get the mic.
And thank you. Good evening, everybody.
Good day, please.
It's a really nice pleasure for me to be here. And I'm so sorry because I was kind of far away to my city because I was in another city to see a friend of mine who is really sick. And I got home late for that reason I couldn't be with you 100% at the beginning. And about the question number six, I think people can affect. It depends if we got people like positive people in our environment, we can become a positive person if you want to achieve a goal. But if we already get people around you who already achieved that goal, it's easy or that can be easier for you to achieve the same goal. But the opposite is true. But if you get negative people around you, just imagine you want to build a business, but you're gonna talk about someone who doesn't build a business at the beginning. How the how does that people can give you good advice? I think it's so difficult for that reason. It's really important. Sometimes you can say I wanna do this, but I don't got people around you. But you can read books related to that, especially if you want to read book related to business or related to science. You can read books, listen to audiobooks, uh, attend seminars. Those things are really helpful if you want to achieve a goal, but not necessarily to get people like physical, like members of your family. but you can get people around the world. We get uh, internet, and nowadays it's a great tool if you use it wisely that can really help to achieve whatever goal that we have good desire to achieve. This is my point of view, teacher.
Mhm. Thank you very much, my dear brother. I know it was not easy, but we're really happy to have you with that really deep comment as well. Thank you very much. And about you, Stacey, let's go say something about that question. But I think after that, we're gonna go straight to seven. Let's go really quick, please, Miss Stacey.
Yes, I really like the comment of Mr. Manuel. And people around you can motivate you, affect your motivation in a way you sometimes can be negative or sometimes it can be positive. It can boosting you with positivity or draining you with negativity. But we know the motivation we need isn't about the negativity parts, but it's about the positivity parts. We need people who can support and encouraging us. Want people who can help us, overall our mindset. Because without a great mindset, sometimes it's difficult to stay motivated. Like when many of the comments said, Miss Neftali, Mr. Davidson, Miss Anna at the beginning, and if yourself, even Mr. Stanley, but to stay motivated, if people around you keep, saying you're not good enough, don't do that. You want to make a business? Oh. Sometimes I remember I was finish high school, I want to go to the faculty with the lady like they call the science economics. Somebody just tell me, your mother is like c'est petite soyette. Why are you going there? You will never go so far in life because you cannot do it. And I didn't listen to them. I just go for it, even though I didn't achieve it. But I didn't listen to these negative thoughts or negative energy or toxic people was around me. But if you have toxic people in your circles, and one of the podcasts I was listening from Jack Ma, it's you have to make in your social circle a key factor. But if you want to go in business, your social circles will be people who have the same goals as you, because God, that's gonna keep you motivated and keep your goals in mind. If you want to learn in English, like we do that right here at Commonwealth Language Courses, we have an environment, our circle, like the WhatsApp group. We can even private each other, to keep doing the same thing, to stay motivated about our goals. But if you want to be in business all the time, you have with people what's just walking around without doing anything, you're gonna lose motivation. And this is why you have to make in your social circle a key factor and pushing your goal of feeling about something you really need. So to stay motivated, you have to have people motivated. I remember sometimes your mother didn't finish high school, but she stayed. She keep you motivated. I remember my mother. My mother say, just keep working hard, working hard. You're gonna get the result. And when you got the result, she congratulated you. She said, you see, if you keep working hard, you're gonna have nothing. Like she motivated you, even though she didn't um reach this stage. This is the same thing. Sometimes the person cannot give you the money to do the business, but the way he keep listening to your what you have to say, to your input, and the way he supports you, or the way the support mean a lot. When you have support from people you love you, that's push you to move forward in what you want to achieve in life. That's my point of view about this question.
Oh, really deep, oh, really sweet. I really appreciate and I really congratulate you. Our beautiful one, Miss Stacey. Thank you for sharing. And about you, Miss Neftali, do you want to say something before we go to the question seven, please?
Yeah, people can affect your motivation in different ways. For example, in what they are going to say to you, what they are going to put in your mind, and also the way that they behave around you. For example, right now, why that happened is because you become what you think about most of the time, and right now I can say definitely I'm not thinking about snow. Why? Because in my environment it's not snowing. And environment nobody is talking about snow. But if I go somewhere where yes, it is snowing, some maybe right now I can be thinking about how to protect myself if I'm going to go out tomorrow to go to work, how to protect myself with the code, with everything like that. But for now, no, I'm not thinking about that. So the way that people behave, what they are going to tell you, and also the way that they are is going to affect you in some way or another because you're going to, your brain is going to brain in a way that trying to be similar with other people around you. And I don't know, I might be wrong, but something that I notice is in a city where a lot of people are working, most of the time you can see people have almost the same amount of, the paycheck is similar, but if you go somewhere else in like a bigger city, the paycheck is almost similar. It is like your environment affect what you want to achieve, affects your perception and everything that you're going to do. You don't really go beyond what is happening. For example, you can be comparing yourself to someone in your environment, and the goal is just to be higher than that person, not to be higher like the level the level most high that you can be. No, you just want to be higher than someone around you. Even though you can go more far, but you just want be to be like higher than that person, and that's it. So for that reason, in your environment, what people are saying, the way that people are acting, even though they don't say anything to you, the way that people act affect your motivation, and you're going to put some goals depend on what is happening around you. Thank you. That's my point.
Thank you very much as well, our dear one, Miss Niftali, for sharing. Congratulations. Okay, guys, so now we are about to go. I know it's a kind of late because today is Sunday, and tomorrow some of you guys are gonna go to rec. I can just imagine you're kind of like tired and you would like to go to rest your body, what's the brain as well, and to go to work tomorrow. So that question, it's a kind of really deep. I know a lot of you guys, you are waiting for that question. That question related to motivation. The question 7 says, have you ever read a good book that motivated you? The last question, people. If you cannot speak English, ou pas qu'à dire en anglais, ou ma bonne possibilité ou dire en créole, ou bien en langue que vous parlez plus bien, espagnol ou bien français. So that question says, have you ever read a book that motivated you? What was it about? Let's stay here. We're gonna go with you, please. The last opportunity to say something. We're gonna go with Miss Stacey.
Thank you, Jamaica, for the last comments. I think yes, I have read a lot of book will motivate me, but recently I have reread a book I already read last year, maybe at the beginning of this year. Is the book of No Excuses. And sometime I even this morning I was, give myself a pep talk. I say I have to chew with myself. That's mean sometimes you have to make an assessment of yourself in order way to keep more moving forward in your life or maybe to achieve a goal in a short period of time. And in the book of No Excuses, one of the things I really like is the great law. It's the law of every effect. There is a specific cause or series of causes. And the book, the excuse is one of the part I really like. Is the part when they said, if you do what other successful people do over and over again, nothing can stop you from eventually enjoying the same reward that they do. But if you don't do what successful people do, nothing can help you. But the law of cause and effects, like successful people read, successful people keep training themselves, successful people keep increasing their ability to earn. If you can do things like that over and over and they never stop learning, this is what successful people do. They value every minute in their life. They don't do procrastination. They do what they should do because they self-discipline themselves. Like we know self-discipline definition is to do what you should do, whether you feel like it or not. You have to read, just read. You have a goal, you want to achieve it, you want to speak English, give yourself an ultimatum. You say a deadline, like you can say in 6 months. That's gonna help you to push yourself. You discipline yourself to do what you should do in order way to achieve this goal. You want to start a business? Keep reading in this area. Talk to people in this area. Don't give yourself an excuse. I can't do that. Don't never tell yourself that. You have to do what they do, believe in yourself, keep moving forward. This book I have learned a lot in this book, and I intend to read this book over again in 2026 in order to self mastery some of this law in my life and to see how can I apply what I have read into my life. That's my
Really sweet, really deep. I'm so proud of you as well because you've been doing a great job. And I think that book, Mr. Emanuele and I, we read that book 3 times. It's a really good one. I know it. Now, Mr. Emanuele, let's go with you really quick. Say something about the last question before we go.
And thank you, teacher Michael, for the second opportunity. Yes, I read many books talking about motivation, especially one of those books that I've read is Goals. It's a great one. But if we want to achieve something in life, we have to get a clear goal, but we have to review it every day in order to see if you make a step or if you stay at the same place. It's really important to have goal in life. Sometimes people don't get success the reason they don't have clear goal. But you have to get clear goal. You have to write down your goal in order to see if you're gonna achieve it. And sometimes people always think about short goal, but sometimes we have to get long term goal, especially people in the middle class. If you wanna get success, especially to be financially independent, but you can't be financially independent in a few days, but you have to keep working hard every day in order to achieve that goal. And sometimes we have to read like Mr. Fee said, every successful people they read. We have to do the same thing, but even business or other thing, but you have to read in order to become a knowledgeable person, not only to do what others do, especially Asians sometimes they do almost the same thing, but in the area they sell the same thing, they give the same service, but you have to think when you are a knowledgeable person, you know how to do things, you can get more opportunity. For that reason, it's really important. If you want to get to be motivated, you have to read book, especially good book in your field, even maybe business or other thing, but you have to read in order to get uh, enough thing to do to achieve the goal that we have, even financial or other thing. Thank you, teacher Michael.
Congratulations, brother. Really appreciate that. You are my bird, like flocking together. So let's go with you, please, my beautiful Neftali. You get the mic to say something. We are about to go. Say the last thing before we go, please.
Okay, thank you so very much, Mr. Michael, for the last opportunity. So yeah, now I'm reading Effortless English by H.E. Hogg. But the most recently book that I have read that has been motivating me until now a lot is $1 Million Habit by Brian Tracy. People can say it is a book about money, but the thing is it is not about money, it is about, I can say, habit. And since the very first time that I started reading that book, I've been making a lot of changes in my life. For example, I used to watch TV, like watch movie in my bed, but I don't do that anymore. I watch movie, but sitting on the chair until I get tired and I will go to sleep. And I used to down scrolling while I'm in my bed, but I'm not doing that anymore because I've learned about the consequences of those small bad habits. And now what I'm doing is like to play some video games that can help me to train my brain, to help my brain on, because when I'm doing those kind of things, I get tired easily and I can go to sleep so that I'm not going to stay a long time in my phone. And in that book, $1 Million Habit, it is not a book about money because those habits can really, really make you become a millionaire. And some habit that I've learned about is the habit of don't say to yourself you cannot, because the only limit that you have is the one that you put in your mind by your own thinking. And also, I've learned about the habit of forgiveness. Sometimes we say, okay, I'm not going to forgive someone, um I'm going to just stay away from that person. But no, when you don't forgive that person is winning because you have that person in your mind, and that person is using your precious time you can use to do something else. And I also have learned in the habit of forgiveness, the one who forgive is selfish because that person is going to have peace of mind. And also I have learned about other habits. And the last one is why I'm trying to apply those habits. It is not for any reason. It is because I have learned as well. If you are not doing things that really matter today, somewhere someone is, and when you meet that person, you will lose. And I'm not, and I don't want to be a loser. Thank you so very much. That my friend.
Interesting. I love it. I just see the pages that's kind of passing. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Do you understand? I really congratulate you, my beautiful lady, because we're kind of birds. Flocking together. I really appreciate that. My dear brother, Mr. Davidson.
Okay, thanks again, Teacher Michael. And then, can you share with me the screen, please? The screen, please, Teacher Michael.
Great.
Okay, thank you. And then, for me personally, I've ever read a book about motivation, but I heard some motivated people talk about motivation, and then it's like if, for example, uh, you wanna, for example, live healthier, like you want to live healthier. It's not a question. It's healthy food once. Okay, it it's better for you to eat healthy food every single day. It's not about eat healthy food just once. And then also it's like about motivation. And also, if for example you want a better, for example, a way or better, yeah, you want people see you a better way. For example, you need to work out. It's not about just work out once a month. So it's better to work your muscle every single day just to be strong. And then it talk also about, for example, if you want, for example, a better future tomorrow, it's important to sacrifice your comfort today. So if you sacrifice your comfort today, and then you will have a better future tomorrow. So that this kind of thing, even though I haven't read a book about motivation, so I know things about motivation. Thank you, Teacher Michael, for this opportunity. Thank you again.
Okay, good, good. So thank you, and thank you a million. I really appreciate that. I really congratulate you. It was a really nice pleasure to have you, our dear buddy, Mr. Davidson.